Hello everybody, welcome to race 8 of the iGPFun-SRF tournament, season 2 2015. We're racing at Charlotte road course, 32 laps, about 45 minutes race. Draft played a major role in qualify. Thibaut Vernis is on pole, followed by Jamie Fluke, Sven Deml in third position. These three drivers were just below the 22.0 mark, very fast qualifier, of course helped by the draft. Position 4 for Matthias Weiger, coming back to the league after missing some races. Evan Merrill, position 5, 6 is Luca Varani. Edward Forer in 7th place, and Ron Wallace, position 8, a very good performance for him. Felipe Farinelli from Brazil in position 9, Richard Moreno Paredes in 10th, Jason Perry 11, and Luca Agretti is 12. Mehdi Mokrani from Algeria in position 13, Claudio Ferrari is 14, Clark Williams 15, he didn't find a good draft in qualify, he's actually farther down the field that he used to be. Michael Chase is 16, Ignacio Hernandez Ross 17, Pierre-Antoine Copol, very low in the field as well. Position 18. Position 19, Giovanni Sellito, Tim Phillips is 20th, Adam Bradshaw, Gerard McArevy, Daniel Ardila Sanchez, and Fulvio Policardi, position 24, to close the grid. The cars are getting ready to start, and here they are actually. Clean start, everybody is getting in line. Passing is very easy on this course. There is the infield section where passing is just about impossible or not worth it for sure. And then everybody heads for the oval over 30 seconds of full throttle where passing is just trivial with a draft. No reason to risk anything on the oval. On the infield. Whereas on the oval you can see down, for instance, Felipe Farinelli passing Ron Wallace for position 8. There seems already to be a gap between the top 7 cars and the rest of the field. They're going 3 or almost 4 wide. It's exciting, but it's also costing a lot of time, and the leaders are actually running away. The leaders are single file. That's a very good shot. We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 cars in just over a second. It's really nice to watch. Richard Moreno Paredes is position 8, is leading the second group of cars. Everybody is in single file at the top of the field. You can appreciate the gap from this image. These are Matthias Weiger on the yellow car and Evan Merrill on the outside. Edward Forer is behind them with the white and blue car. Luca Varani in purple. He seems to be a little far from the other top guys, but he actually closes at the end of the oval and under braking. Back in the field, if the leaders are single file, the same cannot be said for these cars. The black and yellow car was Jason Perry. He passed Ron Wallace, I think, for position 10. Very nice field of cars. Luca Agretti is in the middle of the pack. Jason Perry picking up some dirt, getting into the oval. It's very dangerous actually to go off track there because your car tends to be sucked toward the fence. That's a race ending accident. Side by side, the cars of Ron Wallace and Mehdi Mokrani, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. Luca Agretti with a grey and yellow car. He actually lifted, and you can see Michael Chase going on his outside. Top speed for the car is about 190 kilometers per hour. They reach 200 or more at the end of the oval section with the draft. Still side by side driving everywhere in this pack. The red and white car is Felipe Farinelli. He just passed Jason Perry. Down in the field they're going 3 wide, and Adam Bradshaw actually went wide. Giovanni Sellito forced him wide on the outside. Meanwhile, Claudio Ferrari with a yellow and black car is out and about. A little messy this part of the race. Let's go back to the leaders. Thibaut Vernies is in position 1. 3 laps completed, almost 4 now. Thibaut Vernies, I was saying, with a orange and blue car, followed by Jamie Fluke. The two guys went head to tail for the whole race at Brands Hatch last week. Position 3 in the salmon car, for lack of a better color description, is Sven Demmel. 4th is Matthias Weicker with a yellow car, yellow and black. Evan Merrill, position 5. Evan Merrill, Jamie Fluke and Luca Varani, now in position 7 with a purple car, are fighting for the lead over standings after 7 races. This is race 8. In between there is Edward Forer, position 6, with a white and blue, light blue car. Edward and Varani are actually driving the same setup. They appear to be a little far behind from the rest of the cars. Maybe they're just down on pressure. The low tire pressure is actually going to slow the cars down, the early laps especially, but then the tires last better or last longer during the race. Lap times for the leading pack is 22.3. A fast, if not very fast lap time. This is Evan Merrill passing Matthias Weiger for position 4. This actually allowed Edward Forer to close the gap. So we're staying, a good time is 22.7 without tow. These guys, yes, they're in a pack, but they are driving 22.3 already in the early race. Let's move further down the field. Gianni Sellito, yellow car. Ignacio Hernandez Ross is behind him, and then there is Gerard Jan is slipstreaming past Adam Bradshaw. Adam has the green, white and amber, I'm not sure you call it, color, so it's the Irish national flag anyway. Ignacio is going on the outside. By going on the outside, of course, you are running a longer distance, so you end up actually losing time. Side by side into T1, everybody is well behaved. Michael Chase and Luca Agretti got separated by the rest of the group. I'm not sure what happened. It's difficult to follow everything with the cameras. Ahead of them, Richard Moreno Paredes, Felipe Farinelli and Ron Wallace battling for position 8 to 10. Their lap times 23.4 the last lap, 23.7 for Felipe and 22.5 for Ron Wallace, that clearly had a draft. These guys are losing a lot of ground from the leaders. Richard is approximately 9 seconds, 10.6 seconds behind the leader. So the top 7 cars are within 1.1 second of each other. Let's look at them. That's 7 cars in 1 second on the straight finish line. That's typical racing for the SRF at Charlotte. I'm surprised actually that nobody is attacking nobody of these guys. Now they have a comfortable lead over the rest of the field, so they might as well try to attack and pass each other, especially because Thibaut and Jamie are driving really fast drivers. They could get away if anything happens. Putting a possibly slower car to the front and messing things up a little would actually help this pack of cars to remain together. Sven Demel. Everybody is... That's Evan actually on the outside, going side by side into turn 1. That's actually when I was saying that these guys should pass each other, I actually meant passing the leader. By passing behind the leaders, they just risk to get separated. Especially because there is a lapped car to the front. It's Mehdi Mokrani, the black and yellow car, currently in position 23. He must have had some trouble, possibly a pit stop. And I don't know if you noticed, but Evan Merrill actually, he just lost it on the second to last corner of the oval. He went into a slide, everybody had to brake behind him, and now he is 1.2 seconds behind Jamie Fluke. So that's actually outside the draft range. Sven and Matthias trying to pass and maybe closing the gap to the leaders, but the leaders actually got the draft themselves from Mehdi, from a lapped car. So you see the gap. It's now 1.6 seconds on the start-finish line. And Mehdi is actually ahead of this second group of cars. In the infield section, it's difficult to pass. He should do this. He should be a gentleman and just move aside and let all this group of cars pass by. Meanwhile, we lost Edward Forer. He was 7, he had just been passed by Luca Varani, but he then lost it in turn 1. Sven trying to push Evan. That's the view from Sven car. You can hear him lifting just to stay behind and not cause trouble. These guys are trying to work together. 10 laps completed meanwhile, almost 1/3 of the race. Let's look at the camera and the gearbox from Evan Merrill. Evan now in position 3, looking at Sven, position 4. This is the infield. It's almost flat out this corner. When there is braking for this other right-hander, you actually need to close the corner and sacrifice the exit to be actually faster for this final corner that leads into the oval, which of course is very important. Sven is getting ready to pass him. Mattias behind him, then Luca Varani. See the speed increase as soon as a car gets the draft or loses the draft, then the speed increases. The leading 6 cars. There is now a 1.4 seconds gap between Sven and Jamie, still just outside the draft range. If these guys can close the gap, then they can catch Jamie and Thibaut back. Or of course, if Thibaut and Jamie start fighting, then things will change. It's actually not happening. 22.7 the previous lap for Sven. He's staying high, allowing Evan to go through. Whereas Luca Varani actually passed both 3 cars. That's possibly not the smartest move. Luca passed Mattias and then Sven, that remained high, and then on the start finish light he actually went inside Evan as well, from position 6 to position 3. Lap time 22.2, that's fast, but of course he was coming from behind. 13 laps completed in the meantime. So by comparison, 22.7 for Thibaut and Jamie. So that's half a second gained by Luca Varani, but he had to pass 3 cars to do so. So the gap actually to the leaders increased. They're on the oval again. Let's see if they stay in line or they pass. No, it's actually Sven going inside, Evan going outside. A little confusing. Varani stays high, just like Sven was doing the last time around. Then he leaves on the straight, whereas Evan goes fourth of this group. look at the other cars. Somebody crashed. I apologize. There was a crash on the oval. That's pretty strange. I apologize. I actually don't want to activate the replay because then the whole timing system breaks down. So these three cars are actually Gianni Sellito, Giovanni Sellito, Gianni in the yellow car, position 11. Ignacio is 12, followed by Tim Phillips, position 13 for him. That's a very good performance for him. He's usually a little more towards the back of the grid, back of the pack. He's doing very well today. I'm very happy for him. Another bunch of cars that are fighting. Actually, let's move back. Sorry. Let's move back to Gianni and Ignacio. Sorry. Ignacio has some damage, so it's you can see the damage on the left rear panel of the car. His speed is probably going to be affected. We should look at the telemetry data. These guys are in position 11, 4 seconds behind Luca Agretti, position 10, about 26 seconds behind the leader. That's a lot. Meanwhile, back to the second pack of cars. Luca Varani passing Evan Merrill. Of course, passing is inconsequential at this stage. These guys are just trying to work together. I don't know if Sven did the right thing in going so high and let the other guys through. I think it would have been faster to just go to the finish line. 22.3, the last lap by Varani. The leaders are running in 22.6, 22.7. However, the gap is still 1.9 seconds, so it's not actually closing because of all the passing going on. I was mentioning this earlier. If these guys can get within 1 second, 1.2 seconds of Jamie in position 2, then they are going to be attracted basically by the draft effect. So this is the telemetry from Varani's car. Evan and Sven moving on the inside, whereas Thibaut and Jamie are just following each other. Actually, it's Jamie following Thibaut around. Those guys have been doing nothing the whole race. It's working very well for them. I don't blame them. So you could say what it was gentle braking, relatively gentle braking for T1, about halfway through the brake pedal. Let's look at the cockpit view. Evan Merrill driving off track outside turn 4 on the infield. Evan seems to be having some problems. He's not as fast as he usually is, not as much in control as he usually is. That's the scary gate into the oval. And now you should see the speed increase. Matthias Weiger just visible in the rear mirrors. Lifting, you can see the throttle feathering, he doesn't want to pass. Meanwhile, you can see that Sven has car damage as well. He brushed the wall outside T1 a couple of laps ago. I didn't realize he had so much damage. So everybody in this pack has damage to their cars, except Varani. "17 laps completed." Meanwhile, we are just over halfway race. I'm gonna read the standings in a moment. Let's just see if Varani is gonna pass these other guys. Sven going outside. You see how much faster Varani was, but then he lifted. 23.1 the previous lap. That was with Evan going off track and slowing just about everybody down. Sven on the outside, certainly not the fastest way around the track, but to be honest, I think that Thibaut and Jamie are just gone. There is no chance for these drivers to catch them. Evan wide again, problems in this corner. Varani and Weiger lifting to let him back in. Switch to a larger camera view. Apologies again. Evan Merrill going past Sven. Varani is following. Sven 188 kilometers per hour. Varani is at 197. Now, of course, it slows down because he lost the draft. And he's going through, he's staying wide because Evan is on the inside. These guys get bunched up again. In this situation, it's really much easier. Meanwhile, Sven passes Evan on the inside in the infield. So saying in this situation, it actually pays to lift and tuck behind the car in front. It's much better than having Rook on the inside, because the only thing that you achieve by doing that is actually to scare the driver and forcing him basically to lift. Varani seems to have opened a little bit of a gap. Well, the gap is a big word, it's 0.7 seconds. It's still enough to be cooked at the end of the oval. Meanwhile, the two leaders are actually 6 seconds ahead. 19 laps completed. 12 laps to go. So this is basically a battle for form. Evan Merrill going outside again and Sven going inside. That's a strange situation. Evan has lost it and Sven has lost it. Has crashed against Matthias. Well, that's the end of this pack of cars, I guess. Felipe Farinelli is passing with a red and white car. That's it really for these guys. So this actually gives me a chance to finally have a race recap. So with 21 laps completed, almost 22, 10 laps to go. Thibaut Vernis, he has led the race from pole position and every single second. 22.6 his last lap, 22.570. He's being followed by Jamie Fluke, number 49. Jamie has been sitting behind him the whole race, never more far away than half a second. A little boring as a race tactic, but as I was saying, it's paying for them. Apologies, I had left the telemetry information from Varani's car on. So Thibaut and Jamie are clearly going to fight for the win on the last lap, actually probably on the last oval section of the last lap. Anyway, going back through the standings, Luca Varani, position 3, 23.6 the previous lap with mayhem on turn 1. He has 7.1 seconds. He's 7.1 seconds behind Jamie, so no chance to catch the two leaders. He may benefit from an accident if the two guys up front collide, but it's not likely to happen. Lucky enough, it wouldn't be nice. Evan Merrill, position 4, damage on his car, 26.9 on the previous lap. Position 5 for Matthias Weiger. He's actually now 5.2 seconds ahead of Felipe Farinelli. So Felipe had a very nice and consistent race. He was I think he started 8th, but then he was separated from the leading cars early in the race, and now he's actually moving back up to Matthias Weiger. He's currently 4 seconds behind him, so 23.1 for Felipe, Matthias 25.1 with a damaged car. So I think that Felipe is actually going to catch these guys. Position 7 is Michael Chase. We have not looked at him. He's leading this group of 4 cars. Luca Agretti is 8th with a grey and green Team GT car. Luca is actually 4th in the standings. Very capable driver. He has won races in the past. I'm sure he will win them again. Clark Williams, after a very nice podium at Brands Hatch, is down in position 9, but he started 19th, I believe, or something like that. So it's a good performance for him. He's now 8th. He passed Luca Agretti on the oval. So Luca Agretti. The car behind him is actually Mehdi Mokrani. He's lapped. He's in position 19 after trouble in the very first few laps of the race, while Michael and Clark are going side by side. Felipe Farinelli, I can see it from the telemetry information, is now only 2.6 seconds behind Matthias Weiger. So let's go back through the field. Position 10 is Gianni Sellito. He started 18, 19 maybe. Clark was 18, he was 19. So good performance by him. Jason Perry instead, he has been moving backwards. Another very fast driver, is doing very well in the regular SRF season. I think he's often, if not always, in the top 5 of the standings. This time is 11, chasing down Gianni Sellito. He is 1 second behind him. So he's going to fill the draft, and probably these two cars will be back together soon. Gerard McAreevy, once again I apologize for the pronunciation, I have no idea how to pronounce his name. Position 12. He always broadcasts his races from the camera car. You can find them in the iGPFun thread in the SRF forum or directly on YouTube. He has an interesting perspective. He has cameras looking at his pedal work, and it can be interesting quite a while. It can be rather interesting. He also had his heart rate monitor on for a while. I'm not sure if he's still doing this for this race. Position 13 is Team Phillips, under attack by Claudio Ferrari. Team is doing very well. Claudio has done better than this race. So Claudio is on the number 27 with a black and yellow car with Italian stripe in the middle. Ron Wallace, that was Fulvio Policardi going off track. He's actually in position 17, one lap down with a clearly beaten up car. Position 15 is Ron Wallace. Position 16 actually, but ahead of him on the track is Pierre-Antoine Coupol. He's 2 laps down, so he must have stopped in the pit for some rather lengthy repairs. So let's move back. I actually lost the pass by Felipe Farinelli to Matthias Wagner. I apologize. Matthias sliding all over the place. I'm sure his handling is compromised by the damage. So let's see, maybe he can stick around with Felipe and try to catch Evan for position 4. "25 laps completed by the leader meanwhile." Let me check just for a second to be sure. 27 laps actually, sorry. The scoring system is a little less than ideal. Jamie doing absolutely nothing to pass Thibaut. 27, so it's 5 laps to go. This is the view from Thibaut car. This corner is a little banked, that helps the car turning, and then you go on the oval, where of course you have all the banking. Jamie is not getting closer on the oval. I'm sure he's actually lifting. Whereas behind them, I apologize, I keep jumping around and missing all the action actually. Felipe Farinelli 23.7 the previous lap, Evan 24.0, so Felipe has actually caught Evan. Now it's a 3 cars battle for position 4. This is actually the last race for the season for Evan. He was actually hoping to finish on a better note than this one. Michael Chase and Luca Agretti fighting for position 7. Clark Williams is now 4 seconds behind them. He must have lost something. He must have driven off track or something. It's very difficult. I always apologize, but it's really difficult for me to follow everything with one single camera. Giovanni Selito and Jason Perry, they are together again, and they have been passing each other on the oval. So with 4 laps to go for the leaders, it's probably time to talk some race strategy. the idea is that the draft on the oval is so strong, you pick up so much speed, that you actually don't want to lead onto the oval on the final lap. If you do that, chances are that you will be passed on the oval with the draft, and you will lose the position to win. On the other end, if you are too close to the guy in front, then you're forced to pull out of the draft early on the oval, and then you give the other driver a chance to get in your draft and passing you back for the lead or for position before the finish line. So I'm actually curious to see what Jamie will do, what these guys will do also, but with Evan and Matthias having damaged cars, they're actually slower on the oval, so this tactic might not work for them. So let's move back to the leaders. It's 29 laps completed. Almost 29 laps at the end of the lap. So before the race, the drivers were saying that one option is actually to lift even on the final lap, wait a little more and then pull out of the draft only at the very last moment. 30 laps completed, 2 laps to go. 29 laps completed, 3 laps to go. This is a view from the nose of Jamie's car. Back in the field, Luca Gretti and Michael Chase battling for position 7. Felipe Farinelli, Evan Merrill, Matthias Weiger battling for position 4, 5 and 6. Luca Varanghi is third, driving by himself. Now 10 seconds behind the leader with a 12 seconds gap to position 4. Jason Perry and Gianni Sellittle are running together, and so are Tim Phillips and Claudio Ferrari. You can hear Jamie lifting. Let's have a look quickly at Claudio and Tim. I apologize, I don't want to show this camera. Basically, Claudio had attacked on the oval, but the team passed him back, braking 41, Thurman. So back to the leaders. Ron Wallace, the lap car, is doing the right thing and letting the leaders through. I believe he is Ron Wallace. Yes, he is. This is lap 31. Thibaut is sliding all over the place. The tires are getting worn. It is a relatively long race, 45 minutes on the same tires. Can be felt. Jamie is actually 0.5 seconds behind Thibaut. He's not even using the draft, he was on a different line. You might That's the final lap, I believe, is starting now. So let's stick with these two guys. I was going to say that you may want to get out of the draft to let the engine cool down, but it's not really needed with these cars and this race distance. Last lap, anyway. Let me check just to be sure. Yes. Thibaut is still leading. Jamie is now 0.3 seconds behind him. Little clip of the dirt by Thibaut. if these two guys collide, then Luca Varani is going to win the race. Perfect position for Jamie, 0.4 seconds behind at the start of the oval. Now you can watch the speed. He's actually going outside, not using the draft. That's a little weird. He probably wants to pass later on the lap, on the oval. Are they not on the final lap? Actually, he is getting closer now. We'll see. It's very, very close. It was actually Jamie by 400 of a second. Luca Varani is third. Felipe Farinelli is fourth. Matthias is fifth. All these guys are not fighting. Position 5 for Matthias. Position 6, Evan Merrill. Position 7, Luca Agretti, now chased by Clark. Let's see if Clark can pass him before the finish line. Looks like it. Is he? Yes, position 7 for Clark, 8 Luca Agretti, Michael Chase. This is Gianni and Jason. That's a close finish. Position 10 for Jason. Jason actually wins. Jason is 10th by, I'm not sure, by very, very little. Gerard is 12th. Tim, very well done, very nice race for him. Position 13. 23.6, that's a nice pace as well. Position 14 is Claudio Ferrari, then Ron Wallace. 15 Ron Wallace, Pierre-Antoine is 16. 17 Fulvio Policardi. We never had him on camera, sorry. Mehdi Mokrani, position 18. Sven Demel, position 19 after he crashed out about halfway through the race. Daniel Ardila Sanchez, Adam Bradshaw 21, Richard Moreno Paredes 22, Ignacio Hernandez Ross 23, Edward Forer, retired on lap 8 or so, is 24. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you can join us. Just look for us for the iGPFun League in iRacing. Thank you and goodbye.